what are the plans? You know, the question often gets asked, didn't we already approve the conference center through the lodging tax? And yes, we increased our lodging tax from 3% to 7%, a tax that is paid by guests in our hotels, not necessarily by the community itself. It's paid by outsiders. That funding stream builds us what I consider a conference center of today, not a conference center of tomorrow. It builds a conference center for 20,000 square feet of ballroom space and some meeting space. But it misses out on two important things that transformation is going to do. One of which is exhibition space, 20,000 square feet of exhibition space that the meeting planners through this process told us, I can't bring a conference to the conference center that you're going to build without exhibition space because those exhibitors are what fund my conferences. And secondly, there's funding in there to complement the lodging tax funds to enhance the quality and aesthetics of the facilities. We heard again in that process that it needs to be a really nice facility. This cannot be a basic box shell building that doesn't have some of the amenities and the niceties that you need in conference centers. You know, we're not even in the game right now on statewide and regional large conferences. And so people will say, name the associations that are going to relocate their conferences here. That's very difficult to do because we're not in their realm of even consideration right now. Build this conference center, we get in that conversation. And yes, these conferences are going to continue to rotate around the state, but now Jefferson City is going to be one of those rotation sites for them. You know, every 3 or 4 years, these statewide and regionals are going to look to us to come here, and that'll pay for itself. Secondly, if I can keep on going to the conference center for just a second, you know, the city owns. They work with contract out the services to manage that conference center, and we get hit to say conference centers don't make money. They don't make money, and you know what? Yes, they stand to lose a little bit as a conference center, but when thousands of people come to our community and spend their money in our shops, our restaurants, our coffee shops, our bars, our entertainment areas, that's sales tax revenue that comes through our community as well. And so in a roundabout way, that revenue shows up. It's just a different way. And so I have no problem, you know, subsidizing a little bit of a conference center so that we can have tens of thousands of visitors here every year spending their money in Jefferson City and enhancing those businesses, helping entrepreneurs decide that, you know what, now that conference center here, I'm going to open a business or a restaurant or a shop or a coffee shop or something like that. I'm going to take that risk because I know that there's the critical mass there around a conference center now to make it justifiable and sustainable. So to us, transformation supplements what's already in existence to make this project happen finally in this community. Let's get it off the idea phase. Let's put it into action and move on to the next idea out there.
Just one more thing about the conference center. Last spring, we asked the city council and the mayor to put that project on hold after the passage of that lodging tax because we wanted our action team to look at that in more detail. We knew there were some questions. We weren't sure about the program that was required. That action team did spend about 6 months looking at that and came to these conclusions. And so these conclusions, I think, were important. We hope the council and the mayor appreciate the fact that we took the time to do this. In addition to that, because we heard a lot of comment about the location, are you sure that's the right location for it? We asked the action team to look at that, and they generated 2 concepts, one at MSP and one at McCarty and Broadway, to just verify whether each one or both would work. And the conclusion was yes, they both would, which led then to the council and the mayor really implementing another ordinance to do an RFP to get a market study done. Which of those 2 sites are the best shot for us to make this conference center really hum in the future? So I think that was a good process. Again, delay. People are always saying, why can't we get it done? Why can't we get it done? Well, the answer is we want to get it done right, and this delay, we think, of about a year should help us get this thing forward.